One of the things that, or one of the aspects that Southern was not struggling with when I arrived here was the things that a lot of athletic directors want to work to build sometimes when they take a new position. Building pride, identifying a sense of tradition, developing certain branding and marketing elements so that you can grow your athletic program responsibly. And one thing that Southern had in its fundamentals was a fan base that was very strong. Even though football attendance, for example, had dipped to multi-year lows, the multi-year lows at Southern are the kind of attendance numbers that a lot of Division I FCS athletic directors would be thrilled to have. So there was a base of support there, and excitement and sense of tradition in the fan base that we needed to take and we needed to revitalize. We needed to make sure that we were making efforts to reach out to young alumni and to future alumni, the students that we have here on campus, to make sure that they were engaged. But you had a lot of fundamentals in place that were quite strong. It was also a very good coaching staff. When I arrived here, several coaches who had had a lot of success in this conference. So the fundamentals were there. We just needed to focus on fundraising to make sure that we were maximizing our fundraising efforts in terms of identifying small businesses and annual fund donors through our booster clubs who would continue to provide support annually and support them in growing their numbers. We needed to focus also on small businesses and corporate sponsors, which we've had some successes with growing, to make sure that we're bringing those big dollars in, to make sure that we are making progress with regard to our facility enhancements and facility repairs, as well as providing full scholarship allotments to the coaches to go out and recruit. So as we've seen the revenues increase from that first commitment to financial responsibility, we've also seen some competitive successes that have followed as well, with 5 of our teams winning a total of 6 division, regular season, and NCAA tournament championships last year. The other 2 focal areas, very similar to what all athletic directors are committed to, compliance and academic success. So we've worked very closely with university officials to ensure that our eligibility certification procedures are in compliance with NCAA expectations. Excuse me, we've reached out to the faculty and to administrators on campus to ensure that there's great collaboration with regard to institutional control over the athletic program. And we've worked very hard to cultivate those relationships. And we've worked very hard to enhance what we're doing in academic support. Hired another full-time staff member in that area, put more resources in place to give students summer school stipends, and provide tutors for them to support them. And we've seen growth there as well, with us graduating 70 former student athletes last year, and also putting 70 current student athletes on the SWAC all-academic team, which are multi-year highs for both of those areas. So starting to see some of the manifestations of those initial commitments start to pay off. For me, that there was my successes and the great experiences that I had as a student athlete just sort of serve as continued inspiration. There's a commitment on my behalf and on behalf of the staff that I inherited and have assembled since arriving, that we want to bring in people who want to ensure that all of our student athletes have those great opportunities to be competitively successful, but also have great success in the classroom and work towards graduation, and have the kind of collegiate experience, intercollegiate experience that I had as a student athlete. So when I think of the successes that I had, it doesn't take me very long to think about who supported me in achieving those successes, what kinds of coaches, what kinds of administrators, and what kinds of support do those people need at Southern University to ensure that the student athletes that we have here are invested in similarly. Well, participating in the national conference at NACDA provides, first of all, a great networking opportunity for me to meet other professionals in this field who are facing challenges on some instances in smaller scales, some instances in larger scales. From the Big Five, Division I, Division II, Division III, and NAIA, from a number of different perspectives and from a diversity of strengths, developing a network of individuals who have faced those challenges and can offer support, guidance, feedback, and instruction to me has been absolutely invaluable. I participated in my first NACDA national conference in 2007, and particularly through my involvement with NAD, National Association of Athletic Development Directors, through participating with them and learning about best practices, learning about how to fundraise from major gifts to corporate sponsorships to annual funds, has given me a wealth of knowledge, and again, a network of individuals who work in this industry who can provide great ideas that we can borrow from, that we can apply and attempt to implement at Southern University so that we can be successful here. So I'm extremely grateful both to NACDA and to NAD for the opportunities that they provided me, both, again, in instruction and continued learning for me through the network that I've developed in participating with the National Conference. Well, we'll continue to maintain those commitments to growing our revenues. It's one thing to reflect and be excited about the fact that we've increased our football attendance by nearly 60% from where we were a couple of years ago, that we've increased our total revenues by a little over 30% from a couple of years ago, been able to add some staffing positions in some critical areas and support our current administrators a little better in the work that they do. It's one thing to be proud and excited about that, but obviously the challenges of continuing to know and learn about who our student athletes are and how we can best support them mean that we need to generate more financial support, that we need to commit even more to what we're doing in compliance and in academic support. So the next couple of years will be us continuing to ramp up our efforts to bring in more revenue to support and bringing in staff who are committed to excellence, not only in this athletic program, but as representatives of Southern University, so that we can continue to engage and inspire our alumni and do what we're put here to do, which is bring in excellent student athletes to represent the institution and, most importantly, matriculate them towards graduation.